Hello everyone and welcome to another Doctor Who review with me, John Parker, and...
Me, Jack Cowling, and...
Me, Cody Chronotis.
Right, now, we're going to try and hold back from the points to do at the very end of the episode and get through it like we normally do, because that last part really has quite a few people buzzing. So, this story picks up where it left off in the last episode, where the Doctor and her friends were literally sucked into space, only to then be zapped out or teleported by these, what would you refer to them as?
Racers.
Not racers, that was it, yes,
Yeah,
racers.
they were racing.
It was more like they was playing a live-action video game than a race, I thought. Because, starting, end, that kind of stuff. But yes, these racers were competing against each other for the ultimate prize, which basically is just money. Typical. They were the last two out of, 4,000 or something like that? Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they've been playing a very, very long game, or a very long race, as it was. This planet in question is actually where the Doctor managed to locate the TARDIS, even though the TARDIS was there but not there. It was there to begin with because the planet shifted. Obviously now it was nowhere to be seen, and that is why they were lost, literally lost in space. So they crash landed onto this desolate planet. This planet filled with all sorts of random, very random things. A lost planet with a civilization that is now pretty much extinct. It was to do with the Stenza again, weren't it?
Yeah.
Quickly refresh my memory. The Stenza. What was that? Was it that big ball thing?
Those are the guy with the teeth on his
Oh, the
face.
guy with the teeth. Oh, my
Yes.
apologies. So yes, the situation on the planet is completely unknown due to the actions of the Stenza. But towards the end, after racing through these dank, dark tunnels racing against these cloth type creatures, or snake type cloth creatures, whatever the hell they were. They managed to reach the end, and the race was over, which actually became a joint win. And then after which, the TARDIS finally appeared. Now, I suppose, John, you'll agree with me, the way I raced through that story was the way the story was kind of given to us, would you say?
Yes, it was extremely fast-paced. I kept
really
getting...
fast.
It's like one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. I was like, what on earth is happening?
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, I thought the Doctor's behaviour was quite fast-paced.
Yeah, it was extremely like, this is happening, I have an explanation for this, and this, and this, and this. And then and the constant use of the sonic screwdrivers, it felt like they were trying to... It was like they were trying to quickly get to the ending, because that was the most important part. Because I noticed as soon as the TARDIS part started, it slowed down a bit, pulled back a little bit.
Yes.
So I feel like the problem with it is that because of the fast pacing, because of the constant use of screwdrivers to get out of quick situations, that it didn't really make the story very interesting. I kind of didn't really feel much for those characters at all.
No, I didn't really feel much.
I was trying to. I was listening to her talking about her family and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, okay, a bit of story there, and we're moving again. It's like you're not literally giving me a chance to. Like the first episode was nice and slow paced, a little bit of quickness, but mostly slow. And all of a sudden, we're rushing through a story to get to find the TARDIS. It's a bit.
I mean, there were some parts of this episode to do with the story that kind of piqued my interest. Obviously, the Stenza again. I've got a feeling that creature, or at least that species, whatever they were, might start cropping up a bit more, perhaps.
Maybe. I did like that creature actually. That whole idea of them talking, and it was like just fabric.
Yeah, but
I liked that. But...
Also, more importantly, when they were actually on the surface, all together, about to face imminent doom. It was what they said that piqued my interest about the Doctor, something that she didn't know about.
Timeless child.
A timeless child, abandoned or something like that. And it was just her reaction to it. It's like, wait, you don't know this? There's something you don't know about yourself? Maybe, I don't know, something we're going to find out later on in the series, perhaps?
I do hope there's something cool, like something from the classic series. It'd be really cool if they put something like the Other into it or something. I don't know. Oh god, that'd be really good.
Speaking of the classic series, I liked the nod to the Third Doctor with the Aikido thing.
Yes.
That was a very Third Doctor thing to do. I quite enjoyed how they referenced.
What was that, sorry?
You know when she put her finger to the guy's throat and it paralysed him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is something the Third Doctor would do.
Oh, there we go.
And I quite like the reference that they included there.
Yes, that was good. But, and then towards the very end, of course, we had the ultimate reveal that everyone has been waiting for ages. Now, the exterior, bloody love it. You know, bloody gorgeous. Adore it to bits. The interior. Now, the atmosphere, the lighting, everything like that, perfectly. That was just, gorgeous, right? The walls, the actual environment around the interior, fabulous. I love that pattern. That pattern of machinery. Yeah, but it was amazing. The central part. I don't know, I felt like that there were some controls missing, and then some controls that were put in by random, and when I say random, I mean that hourglass thing.
Yeah, no, to be honest, my opinion of it is, I saw the leaked pictures, and I thought the console looked nicer than the room, but now I've swapped my opinion. I think the room looks nicer than the console.
Yes,
I hope
I agree.
They make it better as the series goes on.
Well, in my opinion, I prefer the console over the room. And the reason for that is because, number one, I'm still getting used to the crystal feel. I like the walls. The walls are good. And I like the new extension so you can see the back of the wall of the police box now rather than the front wall being the entranceway. I like that.
Oh, you mean like the side panels?
Yes, it does allow you to put a nice lighting so you can see, like, if you're in the desert like they were, it's nice and bright, and if they're in a dark place, it'd be dark. You could always, that's a good thing. I like that. The console, however, I like it. I haven't seen enough of it yet. I can't really make that much of a judgment because I haven't seen all the panels. I haven't really seen the rotor either. It looks like it's just a massive big crystal, which is fine. However, it's the police box spinny thing that I liked the most out of all of that.
I thought that was really cheap and tacky because the TARDIS isn't supposed to be a police box. It's supposed to be anything, unless that was a hologram, which could change to whatever the TARDIS was at the particular time.
Well, here's the funny thing. The TARDIS knows she's kind of stuck as the police box, and even if she wasn't stuck as it, the Doctor's going to keep it like that because she likes it. Well, and I'm guessing that the TARDIS has gone fine. I'll just use that as my...
The TARDIS is supposed to change form, so that is probably supposed to be a hologram.
Perhaps, yeah. But either way, I like it because I think it was just a nice, cool little gizmo. I mean, if they've got rid of the main rotor, because you've got the big central crystal in the middle, which I didn't really see moving or doing anything while in flight.
No, that's true.
I do think adding the little spinny police box thing was actually a cool gizmo. I did have to little tiny bit chuckle at the custard cream. That must obviously be her nice little...
that was funny.
Favourite little treat. I do like custard creams, you know. The controls, the big metal levers, loved those. Thought they were really interesting design. I like the splitters between the panels of the console. It's funny actually. They've got this crystal feel to the console as well, which we thought was all steampunk metal, you know, but it's not. You've got these metal dividers in the middle, from what I remember, and then crystal panels, I think. But I could be wrong there. But I think that's what I saw. It was too quick, you see.
Yeah. You're right. We haven't seen enough of it yet, so there's a lot more we need to see first before we can.
But from what I've seen, I like it. The only thing I've still got, and I still can't understand why this is, and it could be because it's the desert and it was so bright that we couldn't see it, but they didn't include a light flash on the lamp. Again.
I noticed that. I'm hoping it was just the lighting.
I'm hoping as well that it's just the lighting and that they just had the lamp flashing manually. But I did notice, to counteract that problem, the windows, when it was fading in and out, it wasn't just a standard fade. There was actually a slight ripple effect on the exterior, just enough to make it look like you were looking through glass. It's like the exterior was turning into a glass type texture as it was fading, which I love. So, yeah, some counterpoints there.
It does seem like with the exterior materialising and dematerialising, they're going back to a more kind of a three-dimensional look. So when it starts to dematerialise and materialise, you can actually see behind it as well, rather than just a simple fade-in that we've had for the past... how many years? We've had it since, Moffat came along. I mean, we had one or two with Moffat, one or two good TARDIS effects, exterior effects, I mean, but... recently it has been lacking so much, and now it was pretty good. So yeah, good on them.
I noticed something about the. Well, it wasn't about the exterior, but it was about the exterior, because on the interior view, because they've got the big police box for the internal door, I noticed that you can see the bolts for the windows. Remember how we're saying they can open the windows? Mm-hmm. You can see the little the bolts or whatever that hold them in place from the interior.
I didn't notice that. That's a good bit of
if
detail.
You go back and look, you'll see it. And I thought, okay, so it means the windows do open. So the
maybe we'll see it open the
windows. We've got to do it.
That'll be interesting. Yeah,
indeed.
I'd like that.
Now, another point relating to the TARDIS, I'm just throwing this one in here, is we had a comment on last week's video from Crazy for Comics, who put, I'm going to guess that the TARDIS is the Ghost Monument reference to the title in the next episode.
Yes,
Ding!
well done at that.
Yes. Yeah, I think we all kind of imagined that was going to be the case, especially when the bloke in the tent revealed what it looks like. That was a pretty good feel, that was,
Oh,
seeing the Doctor's reaction. Yeah, seeing the Doctor's reaction to seeing the exterior as a hologram like that. It was a pretty good feel. It was a pretty good feel to that. One of the good feel as well, right at the very beginning of the episode, which we now got to see, the title sequence.
Ooh, oh yes, I forgot about that. I absolutely loved that damn thing. So crystal clear. It was like looking through liquid.
There's actually, now you've brought that up, there's a point I like to make about the title sequence as well. This is the first time going back to the Third Doctor and the Third Doctor's title sequence. The TARDIS isn't in the title sequence.
Yes. I noticed that as well.
Because it's been there since the fourth. Actually, no, I tell a lie. It wasn't in the 1980s intro.
No, it wasn't. I think it came back.
It's the first time since then.
Because it was with Baker, and then it came back with McCoy.
Yeah.
And then obviously McGann, obviously Eccleston, Tennant, Smith, and Capaldi. So this is the first time in quite a while we've had TARDIS.
I thought the title sequence was a little bit Star Trek-y as well at the end. Because they've got that zoom in effect.
Oh yeah, the kind of the tilt and the zoom.
I liked that.
Yeah, no, that was good.
It was very good. That's probably the best visuals we've had for a while for a title sequence.
Yeah, and the music as well. The music put into that. It's definitely a classic. Definitely a classic reference.
Didn't they add a muffle effect to the start where you see the ball of, I'm going to call it energy, and then it as it expands open, the music becomes a lot more clearer. I thought I heard like a muffling sound to start with.
I wasn't really paying that much attention. I'll have to look at it again to confirm or deny. I was just excited to see the title sequence.
I want a clean version made so that we can add our names. I do notice as well, guys, that they're now sticking with this whole gold 3D shiny text now, rather than standard boring After Effects added text.
Yes, I believe so.
Which I thought was also a cool addition because it adds a nice visuals. I mean, one of the things that the fans on YouTube did was every time they did a fan title sequence, you'll always notice that they tried to add 3D titles for the episode title and the names and whatever else. And the BBC didn't really do that last time, probably due to a budget, because imagine having to add all those effects to the text each time they wanted to do an episode. But I do like the fact that they've now started to do that cool little shiny metal effect.
That's good. So, anything else you want to add to that before we give our verdicts?
Not really.
So, Well, in that case, John, out of 10, what would you give this episode?
So this episode did have a bit more disappointment. It was a little bit too fast-paced. They kind of skipped a few explanations, like the translator thing and stuff like that. It was all too quick. Like, oh yeah, this is just on the back of your neck. Haha.
That's a good point.
Let me just use the sonic screwdriver for everything with this really weird hand movement every time I do it. But other than that, I mean, the TARDIS reveal sequence I did like, although her stabilizing it with the sonic yet again was a bit boring. I was expecting her to go inside it while it was just phased in and then quickly pull a few levers to stabilize it. That would be cool, maybe, or something else to that effect. So I think that was a bit quick. But I did like the TARDIS. I thought that the reveal was quite good for that. I do like the controls on the console, although we haven't seen everything yet, so more to look forward to. Title sequence was great, music great. So all in all, I think I will give this episode around 7.
7? Okay, cool. Cody, what would you give out of 10?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I didn't really notice that it was fast-paced. I mean, yes, I disagree with the Sonic being used all the time. I mean, she could have opened that thing by herself.
Yeah.
And, I mean, again, with the Sonic being used at the end to stabilize the TARDIS, to be honest, I don't know if that's really what did it. Because if you pay attention as well, she was saying, "Oh, it's me, don't worry." And then when she said to the TARDIS at the end as well, "Oh, I haven't got my key," and the door opened, makes me think that it didn't land because of the screwdriver, but it landed because it
knew.
Safe.
It recognized her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt safe. It was like it was keeping itself phased out to protect itself.
Yeah, like personally, cool. I'd like to think that the screwdriver didn't make a difference in that scene, and she was just doing that because
maybe like a beacon to say, "Hey, look, I've got a Sonic. That's me."
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, hopefully, as it goes through, it gets slightly more classical, and she doesn't have to rely on the Sonics to do bloody everything, because otherwise it will be annoying.
It will.
But otherwise, I thought the episode was really good. So I will give it a 8.
8. Bill. All in all, I mean, I assumed that this episode was basically just going to be a filler, so that we could introduce ourselves to the new interior and, of course, the title sequence too. But I think this episode did a lot better than my expectations were. But there were a few things left out that we've all mentioned in our review. So for me personally, I'm going to give this episode an 8 as well. So that is the end of our review video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay with us for next week's review. So until then, see you guys later.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you folks for watching. If you enjoyed, do please leave a like or comment below on this video.
If you want more, on Jack's side is the last video and the recommended video that we've suggested to you.
To stay tuned for more, on John's right is the link to our channel so you can subscribe, and also we have a link to our website if you want more information about who we are and what we do. Until next time,
take care, stay safe,
and remember,
let your geeks out. Bye bye guys.